wonder what the history of GFS is.
I bet it's really interesting.
How about we ask some of our teachers what they know? Let's
Sure.
go.
Enjoy the show!
Mrs. Prop, can you tell us something about the old music room?
The music room at Greens Farm School used to actually be the auditorium, and you can tell from the gorgeous high ceilings and the beautiful cathedral windows.
Mr. Herbst, what's the history of the gym?
Well, I know that the old gym was where the auditorium is now, and when the school was redone and renovated, they built this gym. So this was all brand new when the school reopened. And the first PE teachers here, which I know was Ms. Paglialunga, who some of you will remember. I think Mr. Carmody, who's now at Long Lots, was here, and the teacher, Ms. Miller, was also here. And they designed and decided that they wanted all these purple shapes around the outside and the middle circle with patches in the middle, and the climbing ropes and the monkey bars. You know, a lot of the stuff that we still use today was put in when this reopened here as a new school again.
Miss Hardy, do you know why GFS was turned back into a school after it was an art center?
I believe it was because the population in Westport had grown again and there just wasn't enough room in the other schools, so they decided to turn this one back into a school instead of building a new one.
Miss O'Brien, do you know anything about our past principals?
In 1999, the school reopened and we started with a principal named Mrs. Angela Wormser-Reed. And then we had a man named Mr. Bob Bernstein. And he was here for just a few months and then he retired. And after that, we had Mr. Dan Sullivan. So he came in 2000 and he was here until 2007. And then of course our wonderful, wonderful Mr. Bayers came and he's been here ever since.
Mrs. Muller, do you know what the history of the fountain is?
I do know the history of this fountain. Her name is Robin, and it was created by an artist who was here in Westport named Robert Garrett Thew in 1934. Robert Garrett Thew's daughter's name was Robin, and that's why he named the fountain Robin. Later on, when our school was renovated, they re-renovated the fountain as well, and it's become a beautiful part of our school. There's no water in the fountain, but the artwork still lives on here at Greens Farms.
Miss Thies, do you know how GFS was built?
I know that GFS was built in 1925 and it was designed by Charles Cutler. He designed it in what was called the Tudor Revival style, and it's the only school building in Westport that's the Tudor Revival style. Go GFS. Originally, students and teachers would walk into the building where the fountain is. And so every day they would walk past this beautiful fountain as they came into the building. The bricks that are outside the auditorium, where bus 13 waits every day, that used to be the outside of the building. And so when the building was renovated, they added on a lot of space. The kindergarten and first grade wing and the 4th and 5th grade wing. So they're all new parts of our school building.
Oh, now we know the history of GFS. Like the history of the gym, like how GFS was built, the old music room, the fountain, why GFS was reopened, and our past principals. Thanks, teachers!